Hey crew, it's Pit, and I'm back with another reaction video. This is going to be a little bit different. We're doing something a little bit different. This is going to be Holler Boy, The Rise of Ryan Upchurch, the full-length documentary. I'm unsure whether I'm going to cut this in half or if I'm going to do it all in one solid block. We'll see how it goes. About halfway, we'll make a decision. But I'm looking forward to this. I've got a little bit of the history of Ryan. I don't have much of it. I've only been back in music for almost 3 months now. And I found Ryan while I was on my reactor journey. So I don't know a whole lot. I've seen his engagement videos because I enjoy them. And we're going to check out this and see what's up. This is the Holler Boy, The Rise of Ryan Upchurch. Let's dig in.
What Ryan has is not something you can be taught. It's not something you can learn. You either have it or you don't. He was born with it.
He's just him at the end of the day. Like that's why everyone's so attracted to him. Is because the same dude that you're gonna see on the camera is the same dude you're gonna see.
Authenticity. That's what I love about Ryan.
This whole genre of music, he will be what is remembered. He will be the Elvis Presley for this genre. There's no doubt in my mind.
Just don't die young, brother.
Because he really is that guy. He's not some painted picture. That's why he's church, and that's why he's done it 100% the underground way.
I remember this one older lady there turned around and looked at me. She said, "That's your baby up there." And she goes, "They love him like they loved Elvis Presley."
He's real. He's authentic. He's the real deal. He's not faking it. He's going to do something that hasn't been done before.
But his fans, I mean, they hang on it every word he says. He definitely is. He's their voice, because he really has a voice, and he really does use it through Instagram and through all the mediums that he has.
Excellent trigger discipline there, brother. It's so crazy that I can recognize the voices that we're talking. I don't know the one cat's name, like the main one that talked through this whole thing. But I've seen him on the engagement videos several times. I actually saw the one thing with the Katie Noel bullshit. And so I know who it is, but I can't call the name. But like I recognize Mama Church's voice. That's cool shit. Like Patty Lynn. That's awesome. And the names, like the production and the people who wrote the music, like I'm recognizing the names. That's cool.
I just want to be the most clean-cut, professional country boy from Tennessee who ever existed. I want to be the most diverse artist that ever existed. I want to be the dude who fucking killed country, killed rock, killed rap. I want to be that dude where they were like, how the fuck did he go from being a broke-ass painter with no high school education to being this motherfucking crazy-ass weird musician guy who can fucking make anything and speaks to people's soul and makes you believe in yourself through a song? That's what I want to be known for. I don't give a fuck about my cars. I don't give a fuck about real estate. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm fat, ugly, got too many fucking tattoos. teeth are fucked up. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Because there's one thing you cannot deny. That I'm a hard fucking worker and I'm good at what I do. And I want to be greater and I want to work harder in the future.
This is why I identify with Ryan so much. Is because we have the same drive on this shit. Like, I really don't give a fuck about material shit. Like, it would be great to be able to get off of Social Security and to be able to support my family from the grind. Like, that would be wonderful. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And, like, my God provides for me. It's whatever. Like, the physical shit that I can put my hands on, it don't mean a fucking thing. But the relationships that I've got are solid. Like, there's nobody in my life that doesn't know that I would go to bat for them. That's what I want to be remembered for right there. Like, everybody I know knows that I go to bat for them. That's why I identify with Ryan so much. And, like, he talking about jacked up teeth. Y'all know my teeth jacked up as shit. So, it's cool, bro. Like, rock on.
I don't ever want to backtrack. I'm not the backtracking kind of guy.
Yeah.
And even after I'm dead, I still don't want to backtrack. I want motherfuckers to be like, who in the fuck was this dude? And why in the fuck did I know about this guy when he was alive? That's what I want to be. And that's what I will be. Because I said so.
I just knew from that moment. I knew that Ryan was going to be a star.
That guy. I know who it is, and I can't.
Ryan was born May the 24th, 1991.
Yes, indeed.
In Nashville, Tennessee, at Baptist Hospital. At that time,
Wait, hold on.
1991.
91. Wow. I was almost, that was what, my freshman year of high school. 91.
Tennessee.
I graduated in 95, so yeah. That would be my freshman year.
At Baptist Hospital.
That's wild.
At that time, we lived on
That's
Pine
wild.
Creek Road, and we lived
Mama
in
Church.
this little tiny trailer that we rented from a guy named Paddlefoot.
He does look like his daddy.
God, I think that thing was like 30 years old. It was
Yeah.
horrible carpet. It was just,
I love that paneling. She's probably going to say the paneling sucks, but I love that paneling.
it was not good. But it was fun living on Pine Creek Road. Back then, things were a lot different than they are now. You knew your neighbors. You knew, heck, half your family lived on, the same street. You didn't have to worry so much when your kid played out in the yard and things like that.
Bet
Like
money.
you do now. It's a very different place right now, but it was a much more friendly place back then. He started talking really, really young. I remember taking him to the grocery store, and little old people absolutely loved Ryan. They would come up and talk to him, and they were always impressed because he had great vocabulary. At 15 months old, he could carry on a full conversation with a person. He had bright copper red hair, it looked like a penny. When he went out in the sun, it had like
My little boy's got hair like that. Like, full on ginger.
3 different colors of red in it, like strawberry blonde, red, and this auburn red. So it just looked like his hair. It looked like a penny out in the sunlight. It was so pretty. He was beautiful. He was so cute. Oh gosh, let me tell you this though.
I like them chickens too.
When he was born, when we first brought him home, dude, he was so strong. We brought him home when he was a baby. We could lay him on it, like babies don't really lift themselves up, or, push up off the floor, when you lay them on their belly when they're first born. But he was doing that at two weeks old.
That's awesome. My daughter, we've got a picture of it in the delivery room. Like, she was always, like, the strongest kid. And, like, she was so pretty. Like, everybody came from other floors to come see my daughter. Real business. Like, the nurses came from the other floors to come see my baby. So, I feel you, Mom.
He could push himself up, and his little head would just bobble back and forth. It was so cute. He had such strong body strength. And I remember at the hospital when he was born, he held on to the sides of the little thing that they put your baby in, the little crib, whatever, with the metal rails on it. He held on to the side of it, and they could barely peel his hands off of the side of it. He was holding it so tight. He liked to be the center of attention. Because he was the first grandchild, it's like he did everything with my dad, did everything with his dad. He was the baby. He was the first baby. So he was always the center of attention. He was a great brother. He was a brother when he was 4, almost 5, when we brought Aaron home. Absolutely loved him. Held him, took care of him, looked after him. He was always really, really sweet. Really good with all kids. He was really good with children, other kids his own age. He was always sweet and, giving and things like that. He wasn't confrontational at all. He just loved everybody. When he was 16 years old, he would help my dad with his paint company. He would work with his dad sometimes. He did odd jobs here and there at a pretty young age, but he started writing lyrics down about that age, and until he collected, he used to carry on this toolbox, just one of the metal toolboxes that you put all your paintbrushes and stuff like that in. He would carry that around, and while he was out, if something came to him, he would write it down on whatever he had, whether it be a little piece of wood, or if he could find a piece of paper, he'd write it on the back of the invoice or something. But the thing was packed full of lyrics to so many songs that are just lost now. We don't know what happened to it. Well, he might know what happened to it. I don't know what happened to it. But I knew how serious he was when he started carrying that around with him, and everywhere he went. He actually came to me one day and told me, "Mama, I want to be a country singer." And I said, "Do it, baby. Do it." And
that's so funny. Like, it's crazy how seeing something like this can bring back memories for you, Like, I remember riding on the bus in 6th grade, and I was writing songs, like, in my head, and I was singing them, and I got picked on. And I remember that, like, that pushed me into a shell of not expressing myself. Like, that's where that really started, was right there. Like, I was rewriting songs. Like, it was songs that already existed, but I was changing the lyrics. It was my 6th grade year at Northwestern Middle School. And I remember getting picked on the bus, because, like, we were broke folk. Like, we were so broke that the welfare kids picked on us. I make that joke a lot, but it's the truth. Like, we were so broke that Mama had to steal ketchup to make tomato soup with to feed us sometimes. And sometimes we didn't eat, and sometimes that was life. And we were broke and picked on. Our clothes never were the right ones, and the things we did were never the right things, and it was a rough life to begin with. So just hearing this story about carrying around the notebook, and it's like, how could have life been different? Like, if that day hadn't happened.
I always would tell.
And that's not a regretful thing. Like, I love where I'm at in my life. Yeah, it's hard to believe, right? But I do. I really do. I love where I'm at. I wouldn't change anything, even the bad shit, for what I've got. But it does make you wonder.
Tell them, if you really want to do something bad enough, you can make it happen. And it was so real to him before it ever happened. He would have dreams and visions of himself on stage, and every bit of that came true. Every bit of it.
Alright, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Ryan Upchurch, and I'm from Cheatham County, Tennessee.
And how old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
How did you become a YouTuber
He sounded like he's at the police station.
personality?
I became a YouTube personality pretty much by accident. I didn't have an Instagram, I didn't have a Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, none of that stuff. And I just had a Facebook, a personal Facebook, and me and my buddies went out to a strip club one night, and some shit went down. We ended up getting kicked out, and I made a video bitching about the situation. And somebody had taken it off my Facebook and ended up posting it on, I think it was YouTube at the time. I didn't even have a YouTube then either. I didn't know how to make a YouTube account. And one day we were eating lunch at work, for lunch or whatever. At lunch we was eating, and at work we went on lunch break, and the chick at the restaurant was like, "Hey, you're that redneck guy off the internet," and I was like, "What?" And she showed me the video that I had made, bitching about the strip club we were at, and it was called, the video was called Athlete's Lip.
Yeah, I've been to a strip joint before. Never again. I'd rather get butt naked and cuddle with a dirty hobo. This girl was like, hey baby, can I give you a lap dance? No, what the fuck's on your face? You got athlete's lip.
So I made a video about it and apparently it went viral. It didn't go viral, but
Yes,
it got
indeed.
a shit ton of views. Enough for people to be like, hey, where's that redneck guy? I want to see another video.
Yes,
And
indeed.
that's what Upchurch Redneck was made. Everybody was like, where's the redneck? Where's the redneck? Where's that redneck guy? And my last name's Upchurch, so I just created Upchurch the Redneck, and that's where it started.
Hey, I'm here to tell you that I'm more countryer than you, boy. Hashtag country, hashtag music, hashtag sticks, hashtag backwards.
What's up, you damn pansies? My name's Lil Larry. If you call me anything else besides Lil Larry, I'll bust you in the damn lip.
Hashtag lifted trucks, hashtag Ford, hashtag Chevy, hashtag GMC, hashtag Yoda, hashtag Toyota, hashtag Big Toyota.
We just don't sound like an old ass fucking poodle your grandma got.
Hashtag Yoda in the mud, hashtag four-wheel drive, hashtag rebel flag, hashtag Confederate flag, hashtag country boy, hashtag country girl, hashtag country boy and girl.
Everybody around town was telling me they seen 50 Shades of Grey. I thought they were talking about my cousin's C71 we spray painted last week. My favorite colors is dirt, camouflage, and rebel flags.
Hashtag country people, hashtag country folk, hashtag John Deere, hashtag green, hashtag John Deere green.
We fucking understand. Why are you wasting your life fucking hashtagging stuff?
Hashtag chair, hashtag oxygen, hashtag.
Popping up their collars and shit. Oh, look, it's the gay Dracula. Please.
I'm not gonna mention anybody that did this the other day.
Don't suck my dick.
Like you want to fight looking like this. I mean, bro, like, we go, like, if you want to go. Where we going, motherfucker? Your mama's house? Tell her I got a fucking dick stronger than a 12-valve Cummins. That one friend who over-exaggerates the shit he buys off Craigslist. Hey, Chad, you see my Facebook post? No, what is it? I got me a goddamn drag truck. For fucking real. Fucking this. What's it fucking look like? Shit, motherfucker, it's fast. It needs an exhaust manifold. It needs a hub assembly. It needs the back seats. It's got some mice, you know, running around in that motherfucker. But hey, fuck Stuart Little and his family. I kill all of them. I mean, I gotta drain the gas tank because
Yes,
the gas
indeed.
so old and it like it done got all jellyfied and shit. I mean, but first I gotta buy a gas tank for it though. Okay, I lied. It don't have a gas tank in it. It needs a rear axle. The brake line's dry rotted, but hey, that ain't even nothing though. It needs a transmission. It needs a brand new motor because once got it in it is locked up and shit.
Yeah.
All new windows though. But bruh, it's
He said all new windows.
a bad motherfucker.
Remember the first one he made?
It's a hell of a frame, bro. It's a hell of a frame. Just a little bit of rust.
It's a bad motherfucker.
Remember the first one he made? The first one I
Twisted.
saw him make. Where he was outside pretending to work on a car, and that was at my mom's and dad's house. And I pull up and he has a wig on. And has one of my mom's blouses on, and he's outside just pretending like he can't fix his truck or something. And I'm like, oh my god. And that's how that started. It was really bizarre, but apparently people liked it. But he was on World Star before that, by accident. He didn't even know he was on it until he was out in public one day and somebody said, oh dude, that's the guy that was on World Star. And he didn't tell me because I believe it involved a strip club. That's probably why he didn't tell me.
So that's the story he was just telling.
I'm pretty sure it involved something he said to a stripper or something.
Ryan, he started the Vine thing. Well, at that time when he had the Vine stuff, I always have something different. It's always some bullshit piece of shit. But I'll always be doing burnouts or whatever. Well, Ryan started filming his Vine videos as a comedian. Being funny, always just kind of laughing and cutting up and being goofy. Well, then, we started throwing in riding dirt bikes, fours, and some of the Vine videos. And then we had some of my pieces of shit. And hell, he already know he can gas me up to a burnout and something, you know what I mean? Even if it was my daily, that's all I had, I'd do a burnout in. Especially, hell, you gonna film it? Fuck it. Yeah, we're gonna do a burnout in this.
Hey, who takes minivans through the woods? We do.
I don't know, fuck it.
Pine Creek.
Minivan doing work.
Dude.
Oh shit.
Oh, you smoking.
Oh shit. Fuck it, haul ass.
Hey, put it in reverse. Hey, no, put it in reverse.
Yeah! Roll. Keep on it, keep on it, keep on it.
Oh shit, don't stop.
Keep on it, keep on it. Keep on it, keep on it. Yeah! No. Yeah!
Oh fuck.
Yes.
Some bitch about ran me over.
And that's how you do it.
That's how you do something.
Go sling a fucking rod.
Nah, shit, fucking grab me. Oh, it's going down now.
You cannot, dude, don't even think about stopping. Oh, we're gonna sink it, son.
I ain't stopping.
And he's on the cell phone.
God damn!
Executive. Hit it, fuck it. It fucking made it though. Concrete shit. Oh, fuck. What now?
You better call Ryan to get you out.
The hazard's coming by itself.
So we're over here. We just got this fucking stuff in the creek in this guy's backyard.
Your boy popping up like, what y'all doing back by my plants, bro? I like that square body.
Hell yeah!
You know, he was doing the Vine thing, and then he started doing kind of get a little dabbling in the music and stuff around the Vine time started happening. But then I remember when he was in the Vine stuff, there was a couple people that would stick out during the Vine days. You know what I mean? That would become famous for their Vine stuff. Well, you know, I didn't really care how. I was like, you know, that's computer stuff. I'm not into that. You know what I mean? But Ryan, I could see he was getting more and more into that and watching their videos and kind of seeing, you know, what they're doing and just different things like that. But yeah, the Vine days was fun. And then one time we called this dude and told him his two-wheel drive truck was on the cover of 4x4 magazine. And this dude was so gullible that he believed us. We prank called him. Man, and you know, we knew we was gonna see this dude probably that afternoon or the afternoon after that. And man, we done that and never told him. Forgot all about it. Well, a month had went by, and this dude had done told everybody in Ashton City that his two-wheel drive Ford Ranger was going to be on the cover of a 4x4 magazine. Finally, he told us again about it, and me and Ryan looked at each other. We bust out laughing. We was like, bro, we were joking, man. Like, that was us that called you. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, no, for real, it's going to be on the cover. Like, bro, that was us that called you. It wasn't about a month ago. He's like, yeah. Like, dude, it was us. You know, that we would prank call people all the time and kind of be like that too. So there was a lot of those videos. And then Ryan would just we'd say something.
I like that sticker. I like that sticker a lot.
He'd make up a rap. He made one about Willie Marsh and stuff like that. It was kind of funny. And then that's when he started being able to change. You know, I remember him starting being able to change words and lyrics and stuff like that. Me and him be riding around the truck, and a song would come on, and we would kind of keep up the same beat, but then change the lyric to it. You know what I mean? Just riding around bullshitting, and never. I mean, at the time we never thought anything of it. So
that's how I used to do. Like, I still do. Like, I change up the lyrics to songs in my head. Like, I ain't putting it out there. Especially now, like, I can't sing and shit. But
I think the whole time we was in the construction thing, that's when Vine first started. Because I think that's when MySpace was kind of was dead at that point.
I remember when it started getting popular. That's when Bobby with Redneck Nation comes in, because he sees him just making silly videos and messing around, and he can see something in Ryan. He saw something there, and so he reached out to him and offered him a sponsorship. He was so excited. That was the first thing that ever really, you know, came into play. We're like, oh, dude, this really might go somewhere.
When I met Ryan, first of all, I proposed the idea for him to do this for a living, to do social media, and he just was like, it was like trying to herd cats, you know. he just had no clue that that was even a possibility. And I said, listen, man, you know, you've got this thing going, and I think you have that it factor as far as you connect with people, you're genuine, they feel that. And he wanted to do the music. This was the vehicle at first. That
he looks so young right there. Like, he looks like a teenager right there.
That was the that got the most views and got him noticed. But that was always in his mind, you know, every time that we talked and all that. That was immediately to the forefront. It's like, I want to get to talk to people and know them, but the music was paramount always. When I first met Ryan, I just wanted him to be able to do this for a living and provide for his family. And if that meant him just being a person on YouTube or this, or being a social influencer, then so be it. But you know, he really wanted to do this music thing, and I wanted to make sure that I gave him every opportunity, support-wise, to be able to do that, because it was so important to him. And you know, our company has always supported the independent artist. We've always supported the underdog. And what I saw in Ryan was a bunch of people dismissing him, maybe teachers or this or that, with his, you know, the way that Ryan is. But what they don't understand is that's why he is who he is, because of the things that they thought were wrong. The things that they thought, he didn't march to the beat of the right drum. He didn't march to the rules that they set. But what happens is when you fall in that rut and you just do that, you march to orders, you don't get what you've got now. You don't get, you know, Ryan. You don't get those breakout stars.
He actually seen talent in me when I didn't even see talent in me. I had no idea, because, you know, when I first started making all the videos and stuff, I was still working on a construction site for my family company. It was Upchurch Renovations. And, you know, he hit me up one day. He's like, kid, he's like, you're on to something. He's like, you keep making these videos and you keep gaining more and more followers, and you're just simply saying, you know, what's on your mind. There's a lot of other people that feel just like you about the same situation. And, you know, at first I kind of brushed it off. I was like, nah, I'm good. I can't be a YouTuber. I don't know how, you know. And then he coached me through it, and I told him, I was like, man, I can't quit my job. You know, what little I'm making doing this job is, you know, barely getting me through the week, and it's getting me by. And he was like, well, you know, he's like, we'll do something where, I tell you what, you wear our clothes, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. You know, something happens, and you start gaining more and more and more and more, then we'll do more to help each other. And that's what we've done. He's not even like a business partner anymore. He's not like, well, he is a business partner, but it's not like he's a business partner anymore. It's like he is part of my family. I'm related to this guy. We genuinely both love each other and care for each other now, because he believed in me, and I took a chance on listening to somebody I didn't know, and he took a chance on taking in somebody he didn't know, and I would never want to rep anything else besides Redneck Nation.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And I saw that like early on. He wasn't just like, I want to be a country rapper, he wasn't like that at all. He basically said, listen, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I live, and I rap. And that's really what country rap is supposed to be about. It's about taking the things from regular rap that they may identify with or they may see every day that we can't, because we don't live that life. We don't live in urban areas. Ryan gives them a voice, and that's how it started. But that was just the beginning. That was the alpha, and that was how it then started. Because then he started growing as an artist. He started experimenting. You know, he started trying new things and putting influences and little tiny things from all different genres into that, and then basically kind of evolved into its own genre, if you want.
I grew up in the country, so my whole entire life, I mean, I listened to country. Anything from, you know, Hank to Clint Black to freaking Patsy Cline to Jason Aldean to Justin Moore to freaking Clay Walker, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Gretchen Wilson. I mean, come on, man. I grew up in the country. Everyone listens to country. You know, even though I did grow up in the country, I was still a young dude that was, you know, being exposed to other types of music through school or friends. You know, I mean, I knew who Eminem was when he came out. Who didn't know who Eminem was when he came out? You know, my love for rap was just, I didn't know how to write a country song at the time. You know, I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know the structure of writing a song, but I knew how to rhyme words. So I would write rap songs just about stuff I knew. Just about shit we do out here in the country. Shit I do with my buddies on the weekend. I mean, I didn't know that I was writing, you know, something that was going to be so fucking hated by a lot of people. You know, well, you can't mix country with rap. People were always, you know, yapping about that. Woo, 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 you can't mix country with rap. It's two separate things.
I hate a gatekeeper. Like, I really do. I know some people who are like that. I don't fuck with them, though. Like, if it's good music, it's good music. Like, it doesn't have to fit a box. Like, quit trying to put shit in boxes that don't go in boxes. There are some things that need to go in boxes. Like, but music's not one of them things. Like, even genre-wise, like, well, that's not exactly as I envision rap to be. Like, that's how you sound when you do that shit.
Johnny Cash is a perfect example of you can do whatever you want in country, and Eminem is a perfect.
And that's what I say all the time too. It's like, do y'all not realize that back in the day, like Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings and all of the Outlaws and David Allen Coe, and they were all like, no, bro, this ain't country, this ain't country, this ain't country. The fuck it's not. Now it's like core country. Now, if you don't know that and you don't sound like that, then you're not country. But back then, well, that's not country. That doesn't sound like Hank Williams Sr. That's how they really looked at shit. And we still have that going on today. Like, that's crazy as shit to me.
Perfect example of you can do whatever you want in rap. I mean, you can say it don't go together all you want to, but how does it not go together?
Right.
I mean, music is always evolving. Anybody who thinks it just don't go together obviously never listened to Talking Blues or even know what the Talking Blues was.
Right.
Back in the 40s and 50s, that was a country song where someone was talking and rhyming words the whole time. I mean, don't hate on a country rapper for calling it country rap. I mean, I personally don't call it that. I call it hip-hop music. When I do rap, it's hip-hop music. I'm rapping. It's not its own thing, country rap. It is rap. It's just coming from a country guy who grew up in a country atmosphere.
Bet.
The name of my first project was Cheatham County. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna make some songs that me and my buddies can jam to and listen to. Songs that are, you know, relatively about us. And I made it, and I called it Cheatham County because that's where we're all from. And I posted it on iTunes and got the fucking response I didn't think I was gonna get.
I'll never forget the day when I remember it was taking a turn. He always did music and things like that. That was that was where his heart was music. And I remember the day when he realized how many followers he had, and he came to me and he said, you know what, Mama? He said, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna throw one of my songs up there and see what happens. And I was like, do it.
Hell yeah.
Do it. And
that's a good mama right there. That's a good mama right there.
There she goes. he was I mean 100%. He's like, that was it. That he just wanted to test the water. I guess he wanted to see how it would be accepted, because you always question how good you are at something, and you know, you're kind of fearful of what the response might be, because you may think you have talent, and the people around you who love you may tell you have talent, but but putting it out there is really scary. And I think he wasn't really expecting it to be so well received, and it was. And that was it. After that, he knew he was onto something, and he just went with it. And I'm very proud of him for that.
I'm gambling with them roosters, even with all the Kentucky coppers. I be cooking up something like steam mash and copper. I stay smoking on loud, oil leak under a chopper. My road is kinda rocky, but I bet you I'm a topper. It ain't nothing but a gamble like dice, watch for the snake guy. Hiding in the grass, that's why I constantly cut mine. I'm making me a path and slowly dropping them landmines. Flame in my hand, let's make us one of them wild I live out in the country, used to hang on Old Pond Creek. Used to catfish with my grandpa, used to cut the grass.
That was the first song of Ryan's I watched. Like, I was introduced to Ryan from the Apology video. I loved that shit. And then the next thing was Come and Get It.
And there ain't been a damn anything that could teach me right from wrong. Used to listen to Hank Williams, try to live by all his songs. Yeah, I've been around them cowboys. I grew up in Tennessee. I ain't just part of that country, 'cause that country's part of me. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
One day I built up enough courage to sing something. I think it was a Justin Moore song, maybe. Yeah, it was a Justin Moore song. It was In the Bed of My Chevy. It was the first cover I ever put on Instagram, and it got a really good feedback. So I just started doing other covers, and I figured, you know what? They've gave me the confidence. My people who watch my stuff have given me the confidence to, you know, at least make me think I could sing. So, and then that's when I wrote Stuck on 17, and I put it out, and it got a really good response. And then my first country music video that I put out was Wrong.
All right, I might have to check that out. I ain't seen that one yet. Stuck on 17.
Stone, and that got such a big response. I still don't even know how to think about it. It's only been out for 3 months, and it's got like 6 million views. That's crazy for somebody like me. That's blows my mind. The Chicken Willie album is more of a sentimental memory to me in my career. You know, with the loss of my grandfather, that really went to fire underneath my ass to do what I wanted to do. Right at the time between Heart of America and Chicken Willie, the albums, you know, there was a time in my life of doubt. You know, I didn't think I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, you know, with my life. I didn't think this music stuff was going to work out. And I actually thought about quitting after Heart of America came out. And, you know, I just...
I'm glad you did.
Thought. And I knew if my grandfather was here and he seen the impact I was making on people, and he seen what I was doing, my team was doing, he would stand behind it 100%. And it really it boosted me back to life and just made me want to just do better and better and better and better on every project, everything I do, every lyric, every beat, everything all around about it made me want to do everything better every time. And when I thought of that, you know, the thought of him watching down on me or being here to kind of see what was going on, it really just energizes me up. And I just want to be the best now, and I ain't never going to stop, and I ain't going to let nobody stop me from what I'm doing.
Bad money.
I named the album Chicken Willie because that's his nickname. His real name is William Burgess, but he's had the name Chicken Willie forever. You know, my grandfather was a real big Gamecock fighter. You can ask about him in Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, and ask anybody who is over the age of 50 or 60 that fights chickens or has fought chickens, and I can guarantee you they know exactly who he is, and I can guarantee you they've got chickens of his bloodline still to this day.
There's a lot of that down here still today. Louisiana's the last place, I think we were the last place to outlaw chicken fighting. It still happens. It still goes on. There's still gamecocks out there.
Back during that time, he wanted to start going on the road, doing some little, you know, gigs, his first gigs. And I remember the very first one he wanted to do, he needed like $750 to go do it. That was my rent money. And so I was like, he said, I'll give it back to you when I come home. I'll go do it and I'll get paid and all this and the other. And he went and did that. He did. He left and went and did that show and didn't make any money. So we together had to struggle together to get my rent paid that week. But after that, when he did that, it was like he realized people actually came out. You know, people came out. I think every time in the very, very beginning, like when he dropped the first song, when he did the first video or he did the first show, I think he was always so surprised that people wanted to watch, you know, that people wanted to see him. He was really good, and I don't think he really knew how good he was at that point. It was just him and Cliffy. They didn't have Kid at that, you know, for a long time they didn't have Kid in the picture. But him and Cliffy did it like it was nothing. And it's so weird because to think about the very first shows that they did, driving away in the little van, it was just him and Cliffy and the keyboard and a microphone. You know, and it's come so far. But dude, they were doing it and they were killing it, and people were loving it.
I guess I kind of, when I really first came in, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I guess Ryan didn't really know what to expect either. There was only a few couple shows that there wasn't a lot of people at, but for the most part, there was a lot of people at every show. So the only thing I guess me and him really always talked about was progressing the show and making the show better, because that's my job, is to take what he does in the studio and perform it live in front of people. I guess it didn't start off like us being picky about this, you know, like we just wanted to do shows, and now I guess we're more like we want to put on a better show, you know. Like back then it was just about getting to the show and making sure that we did them. It's changed a lot, but it's still the same in a lot of ways. Like we're still growing 4 years later, so, and I think that's cool too. Like,
never stop growing.
I've been with something since day one, kind of, and watched the whole progression, and we're still progressing.
This is the story of working diligently. Like I use that word an awful lot. If you go through my videos, you will hear the word diligent a lot. But it is because it is an important word. It is not just doing a thing, but doing a thing to the best of your ability every single time. That is diligence. Ryan is diligent. I love that. Apparently Cliffy's diligent too. Like I didn't know who Cliffy was until this very minute, right? Like I didn't know. No, I don't know none of this backstory. So this is all brand new to me, and this is a definition of diligence. Like this is how you could exemplify. Like you could give this as an example of diligence. Like that's what this is.
You know, there was a time when I was trying to tell the Vinnies, like, look, you got to believe in this. This kid is the next biggest thing, and they wouldn't give us shows. But now all those venues blow up our phones, our emails, our text messages, begging for shows.
And then he was doing like small shows and stuff like that, and getting. I was like, damn, you're getting heavy into it. And I remember him giving me between all that time, he had gave me a stack of cards. I still got a whole bunch of them too. To pass out, you know, like promote, you know what I mean? Like look him up on Instagram or Facebook and blah, 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 blah. These cards, double-sided. And I remember just I'd be driving in the road and throw a whole handful of them out the fucking window, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew somebody would pick them up, you know what I mean? Be like, what the hell is this? We'd be in Franklin, I'd throw a whole bunch of them out on the side.
I don't want to talk about your boy, but that's kind of shitty.
I walk or whatever. Whether a person picks them up, throw them in the trash, or pick them up to look at them, they've seen it regardless, so that's being promoted, you know what I mean?
I remember being at Clarksville, Tennessee.
Like, for real though, that's the opposite of diligence.
Sitting there, and it was like one of the first times we sold out the warehouse. Probably close to 500 or something. I'm sitting there. The bar guy's like, hey man, can you come outside with me? I was like, sure. I didn't think anything was going to happen, you know. I go out there, next thing I know, there's a biker brawl going on, and he's taking me out. There's like his back up. Next thing I know, somebody climbs my back, starts choking me out. I end up jumping backwards, landing on the person. I look over, my buddy's choking a biker out. Next thing I know, I get up and a laser's being pointed on me by some SWAT team guy. I go inside and Ryan's like, everything all right with you? I was like, dude, I just got done choked out in the parking lot. That was the kind of shit we dealt with.
And I think the reality hit at Mercy Lounge in Nashville. That was the first show that I went to, and I nearly passed out. I had no idea that place was packed. That was in the early beginning. And it was overwhelming. It was so overwhelming. I had no idea. And he has such great stage presence. And he was so good. It was so obvious. It was naturally. That was what he was supposed to be doing. It was just came to him naturally. And he was so authentic. And it was such a good show.
That's my boy Damon Jones right there, y'all.
And
I say my boy. I ain't never met him. But, like, Damon brings a smile to my face the same way that Ryan does. Like, they just have that energy.
It kind of, like, took me back a minute. That many people came out to see my son perform. And it just, I literally almost got sick. I mean, and they're like, I remember this one older lady there turned around and looked at me and she said, that's your baby up there. And she goes, they love him like they loved Elvis Presley. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That was fun for me. The reason being is I already had a band where I just DJ versus drums. It's me and Kid, and we've been doing that for 10 years. So it was an easy fit. It was pretty much me going, hey, I got a drummer. And we rehearsed him. Literally 20 seconds in, we look over and Ryan had his shirt off and was headbanging and said he was hired. So that was the extent of Kid getting hired.
The rehearsal was pretty much Ryan showing up in a loud-ass Mustang outside of one of those studio places in Nashville. Jumps out, he's like, fuck yeah, let's do this. He goes inside. We just pretty much just start playing through all these songs, and he's just sitting there literally dancing and doing the Running Man while we're playing these songs. I'm sitting here tripping all day hoping I'm prepared enough, and this guy's just over here raging and rocking, and he's like, sounds good. And that was that. We started hitting it up. We started playing shows, and we took things just on to where they are now. Like, I knew I was now playing with Upchurch, but it wasn't like that was my brother yet and we were in this for life. We were just riding it out. And dude, it was awesome. That was fun. I like the challenge of just playing with the DJ. It's different than playing with a band kind of scenario. But at the same time, you know, we're presenting this kind of rap thing in an organic way, trying to like make it where it's, you know, ideally just the more you can connect with people. And I felt like we did a good job of it. You know, budget-wise was different. You know, we're riding around in our rental van, you know, sleeping across the back seat with seatbelts up your ass, you know, trying to sit there and make yourself comfortable. You know, honestly, it was thrilling. If we could have a hotel room with each our own bed, you know, we're just working with it. We're making it happen.
Before the show starts, you know, they'll go back and forth, and you know, kid will fucking and freaking Clippy's up there just and they're just going back and forth making this epic sound, and while they're doing it, they're playing songs like Hillbilly Deluxe and freaking Eminem and freaking Yellow Wolf, and it just sounds so badass. And you know, that gets everybody pumped up, and then that's when Cliffy tells me, you know, Upchurch is coming on stage, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I'm touring this on this time, just nobody really says. But he introduces me, and I come on stage, and it gets me hyped too. They're not only getting the crowd hyped, they're getting me fucking hyped. And when I get on stage and I'm hyped, bro, I got ADHD. You gotta understand. When I start hearing the beats and freaking people like, I'm just like, and I'm ready to fucking go, motherfucker. I'm ready to get on stage, fucking rock that shit.
Hillbilly, 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 hey, hillbilly, hillbilly, yeah. Hillbilly, 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 hillbilly.
Came from the bottom like well water, bitch, 6-string, quick picking, what's good, motherfucker? Rebel flag, bandana, chromed out, Harley Davidson, damn motherfucker.
Hillbilly, hillbilly.
Stay all up in the limelight, higher than a damn kite. Might be sipping whiskey, turn the story of a bar fight. On MTV with a torchlight, smoking up a blunt while I'm playing with some tenor like bitch. I'm the barefoot rapper, everybody keeping distance from. You hear my name, you know I don't play what the fuck I'm about, where I came from. I know a lot of rednecks, know a lot of real thugs, know a lot of hillbillies, toting scraped up guns, know a lot of motherfuckers in the hottest where I'm from. With a huge pig bomb, no fingers, no thumb.
Hillbilly, 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 hillbilly.
All right, I ain't heard that one yet either.
We got to where we were working our ass off. We were doing 4 days a week, literally leaving on a Monday, doing shows Wednesday, doing like little small rinky-dink shows. We would have a show in like Florida, but we would hit the little rinky-dink shows on the way just to cover gas and stuff, not making a whole lot of money. Go do this show down here that actually would pay for the trip, and then maybe hit another couple of shows, and it got to where we were doing 12 shows a month. That's almost half the month doing shows on the road. And there's times we would do a show, drive 8-10 hours, do a show that night, drive 8-10 hours to another show. But that's what we were having to do in the beginning, because it wasn't good enough to go just do one show.
And then we go for 50 people. The first time we came in, the next time be 200 people, and it just kept building. And it was happening so fast that, you know, we were having to, you know, we made mistakes along the way. You know, at the beginning, we would ask for, you know, whatever the price was, a couple $1,000. And then we learned real quick, like, oh shit, we got there and they sold 1,000 tickets. They made, and then we're doing the math in our head, like, damn, they made 20 grand a night. We made $1,000. So it made us smarter. We started putting back ends on it, you know, on things. You know, we learn how to create a contract on our own. We learn the do's and don'ts. We learn the things that we will, you know, maybe come down a little, and certain things that we're going to stand true to, and there's just no negotiation, or we don't need to play your show.
When it was all being sold out, and I was like, you know, this is, I mean, it's like for real happening, you're for real getting big. I told Ryan back then, I was like, you know, he wasn't as big as he is now, but I was like, you made it.
A lot of it would be the venues, you know, because you go from playing the hole in the walls with no sound guy to playing a real venue with a real green room and a real sound guy and a real writer, stuff like that. That, you know, on the ride up, they forget about or just don't include.
Early on, when we would go do he would do meet and greets at every show. This can't happen when you get to a certain level just because it gets kind of wild. But we would play a show, maybe a couple thousand people, maybe 1,000 people, maybe 800, and every single person there would get in line afterwards. He would say he's going to do a free meet and greet, meet everybody, which is really awesome. He would spend 3 hours talking to these people. Thing is, Ryan's the kind of guy, he won't sit there and like nudge them along. He won't even tell one of his staff to nudge them along. He will sit there and talk for 5, 10, 20 minutes with each of these people until someone finally steps in and goes, hey dude, there's like 1,000 people waiting to talk to you. But these people, the look in their eye when they come up and talk to him, they talk to him as if they've known them their whole life. Or they're meeting some author that wrote a book that changed.
Look at these people, though. Like, I get it, that's fans. And I'm sure he doesn't mind that. But, like, look at it. He gave away one free poster. He's like, here, bro. And then bam, 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 bam. Everybody comes.
Changed their life. And that's awesome to me. Like, it was neat watching.
That costs money. Like, that's not free.
Also, it was neat watching Ryan deal with it. To me, that was one of the ways I recognize his star power. The fact he could handle that. And he handled it without getting a big head. That's rare.
Even at the shows, it's not like these people are just showing up and you're just signing something and taking a picture and that's it. Like, the venues literally get mad at me because when I do like meet and greets and stuff, I don't want to just sign something and take a picture with you and that's it. Like, they get mad because my meet and greets last like 4 or 5 hours, you know, because I want to talk to each individual person. I can't help it. That's just how I am. And, you know, they'll be like, you know, move along. And I'm like, yo, it's my fucking show, dog. If I want to talk to him, we'll talk to him. The meet and greets end up lasting 3 or 4 hours because I really like getting in touch with my supporters.
I get a call from Tubbs, which was his manager at the time, and he said, hey, Ryan wants you to come shoot some videos. Would you be able to come out to Cheatham County? So I said, definitely, I'll make this.
This is Be Loose. I finally get the joke.
This happened, so I left Houston and I packed up all my equipment in the car and I drove out to Cheatham County. I remember specifically this trip was the start of it all. This was the first time I got to work with Ryan one-on-one. That trip specifically, I stayed for about 5 days. And within those 5 days, we shot the video for Ghost, The Old Days with Justin Adams, and Summer Love.
Son, I'm priceless, bone stock, old Camaro. When I'm in it to be a legend, give a fuck about the narrow. My shit played when I'm 6 feet in the ground. 100
I just did Ghost. It was great.
years in the dirt, still bumping my sound. Why you dancing around the fire? Why you sit
Stay out of that sumac, brother.
in the shine of tailgating with your buddies, puff, passing the pine? Simply chilling, watching the slow, changing the times. Think about me every time you start that fire. All meets the road, and you hear the night owl roll, and the trees release the ghosts to the ones who lost their soul.
Stayed up for about 4 or 5 days in his little trailer, in the studio outside of the trailer, and we just sat together, stayed up and edited these videos, and that was the first time he really got to be a part of the process of filming and editing and really directing everything and taking me to all these locations that really meant a lot to him and telling me all the stories about all these locations and why they were important to him.
really gave a backstory to everything we were doing. And I think that was the first time that he found someone that was willing to work on his level. And same with me. I've worked with 40 different artists prior to him, and that was the first time I really saw someone super dedicated and willing to give me 100% of their time, and I was willing to give them 100% of me as well. And I think that that's why we bonded so well. I went back to Texas, and Ryan and me stayed in contact with each other almost daily. And he was sitting on those 3 videos, and as he was releasing them, he was getting mixed feedback. I remember when he dropped the Ghost video, a lot of people were saying, oh, he's sold out, look at the quality now, look at the Illuminati sign on the end of the videos. And he really fed into all that, man, and he really liked the controversy. He was telling me, man, I really want you to be a part of this team. I love the way that we work together and the way that we vibe. Would you consider moving down here? Would you consider moving down to Cheatham County and being a part of this? And things were just going so fast, you know. I don't think we ever really took a second during that time and really stopped to soak it in. Even throughout the full 3 years, I don't think we ever, maybe a handful of times, but we never really stopped to sit back and look at what we were doing. So a couple weeks later, you know, after filming and going on tour, he ended up moving into this house. And I remember that was a big thing for him. You know, the trailer really defined who he was and who his character was, but to be able to move and, you know, to be able to save up that money and afford to be able to buy a house from music and through the YouTube videos and the Vine videos he was making, I know that really meant a lot to him, and it added a whole new energy to what we were able to do. So we moved into that house, and that's when we really turned up. That's when we were shooting videos like Johnny Cash, Bloodshed, and that's when we also shot White Lightning.
I ain't no stranger to the rain. I put the sunshine in my gray clouds. Worked hard for where I'm at, so it's easier for me to sleep now. But I don't sleep. I walk the roads from stop sign to street name. No yellow marks on these back roads, so I paint the lines to pave my way. And these frame pics on my wall for my top 10s on these music charts. Represent these small towns you'll never see with a big heart. And these lyrics in my songs are the warm spot like a car heart. Don't ever forget that one place that made you that person that you are. Many miles I've run, wheels turning on that one lane. Last year's boots, broken souls, chasing one thing. Caught up in the storm of life, it gets me excited. I guess you could say that I'm chasing white lightning. Chasing white lightning. I'm chasing white lightning. I'm chasing white lightning.
And that's where we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to save the other half. I'm going to do it. Y'all are going to get to see it on the same day, but I'm going to do it in a little while. I got to go bring my daddy to the doctor. And I want to be able to give this my full attention, not be distracted by anything. And so I'm going to wrap it up here. And then we'll catch the other half. We're almost halfway, so we'll catch the other half when I get back. I'll go ahead and wrap this up. And in a way, I wish I would have watched this before I started doing all of Ryan's music. But in another way, I'm glad that I didn't. Because, wow, this brings a whole new light to White Lightning. Like, this puts a whole different spin on the song than what I knew beforehand. I like the fact that I was able to experience it not knowing all of these things. Like, going forward, I'm going to know a lot more about Ryan. So, when I see his music, it's naturally going to put a lot more into my mind. But I like the fact that this wasn't that, and this is great. So, Ryan Upchurch, thank you for this. This is great. I can't wait to finish this up. We'll do that in just a little while. So, the crew, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I appreciate every single minute that you were here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. This has been Pitt State. Peace.